Hey, today I'll be talking about episodes 13 through 14 of YanXi Palace. Poor Snowball has been sentenced to death. Not wanting to be haunted by an innocent doggy soul, Yingluo decides to save it. One of the guards is tasked with dispatching of it, but she convinces him that she hates this dog for embarrassing her and ruining the banquet and wants to take some revenge. Since the guard didn't much want to do the task himself anyway, he hands it over as long as she promises to bring back the evidence so he can report the job done. Later, she brings him back a white fur that passes enough for the dog to tie up any loose ends, though Fu Hong does notice the deception. When he goes to confront her about it, and finds out that she did this to save the dog, this interaction does more to endear her to him than any of the fake run-ins. Nope, just kidding. This was also a fake run-in. She knew he would notice the fur wasn't right and then come to her and then be enamored with her warm heart. Poor Fu Hong does not stand a chance. The emperor finally comes to confront consort Shen about her family. At first, Shen assumes it's about her brother and is apologetic, but then the emperor reveals that he's really here about her father. A Prince Yi has reported that her father, Naerbu, tried to bribe him with silver. Prince Yi is overseeing the bribery case, and the silver was a request from him to be lenient on his son, Shen's brother. But her father has always been a straight arrow. Where did he get such a huge amount of money? The way I almost threw my laptop. I am so done with this family. Shen did absolutely everything in her power to get that money that was supposed to pay for a doctor for her brother, and then they were stupid enough to use it for bribery, the very thing that got him put in jail to begin with. Come on, people! Shen refuses to believe it. She begs for permission to go and see her father, which the emperor grants. She goes to see him, expecting to find out he's somehow been framed, but he says that is not the case. He says he had no choice as her mother was threatening to commit suicide if he didn't do something. Shen's world is crashing down. She's gone through so much in the palace in order to live up to her father's example, an example that she now realizes doesn't exist, as now that it's his life in danger, he begs her to do whatever she needs to save his life. Shen confronts her mother, who is unwilling to accept any blame. Yes, she forced her father's hand, but she couldn't just sit aside and let her only son be killed. The writing here I feel is really great because as much as I don't think Shen is totally wrong, it's also hard to say her mom's totally wrong. She wanted more in life, so she was always pushing for it. Annoying, but not terrible really. And even this final decision, I mean, what parent wouldn't give up everything to save their child's life? But it was all for naught as they get the news that Shen's brother died in prison. Shen's mother tells her that none of this would have happened if she just set aside her lofty ideals and begged for her brother's life. Those are some tough last words. The empress hears about Shen's family and wants to see the emperor to beg him for some compassion. The empress and Mingyu are so discordant that I truly do not understand how she made it so high up the ranks. I don't even think the empress likes her. Anyway, no thanks to Mingyu, she does see the emperor and convinces him to release Shen's father considering the circumstances. Upon hearing the news, Shen doesn't even seem happy. Her mother's last words are still ringing in her ears. This does not bode well for her mental state. The next morning, she does make sure to go to Changchun Palace to thank the empress for her grace. She sure does. Okay, back to Gao and Jia. Gao is still not allowed to leave her palace, but she actually played a part in this. Prince Yi, the one who reported Shen's father trying to bribe him, actually reported the news to Gao first, and she told him to report it publicly, which is what led to this whole mess. Why would he do this? Prince Yi is the emperor's cousin. They share the same royal grandfather, so he has royal blood and a fancy title he inherited from his dad, but really not much actual power. Gao's family, on the other hand, has a lot of power, and so Yi has been giving Gao any information that might be useful to her in the hopes that he can one day parlay that favor into more power. Like this whole Shen thing. Gao might have wanted to use the information to threaten Shen into doing her bidding, which I think would have been the better move, but it seems clear at this point Gao has no interest in winning Shen over to her side and just wants to get rid of her. And Yingluo, of course. Gao and Jia find out about QingXi and the affair rumors from Yingluo's time in the embroidery department. They have Prince Yi approach QingXi and offer him a promotion if he helps them get rid of her. QingXi tells Yingluo he has a lead on her sister's case and asks her to meet with him in private. She agrees, but once they meet, without a single word exchange, she immediately starts screaming. The eunuchs come to her aid, and without checking for any sort of evidence, they just jump him. Luckily for QingXi, reinforcements arrive. As he was ordered, QingXi tells everyone that Yingluo was trying to seduce him, and only called the guards when he rejected her. She has a perfectly reasonable excuse for being here, but Prince Yi is in on it, of course, and insists on taking her away anyway. Just in time to stop this from happening is Fu Heng, who already had his suspicions about Prince Yi after seeing him meeting with Jia's maid. Since the emperor happens to be nearby, he says they better present the case to him before harming the empress's precious maid.
怎么又是你啊?
I know, right? QingXi tells his story again, and Prince Yi backs him up, telling the emperor that Yingluo has been bothering QingXi for a while. As proof, QingXi brings out a letter supposedly written by Yingluo in her crooked scrawl. Unfortunately, they did not plan well enough. To be fair, I guess they weren't expecting the case to come before the emperor himself. The quality of the paper is too good, and Yingluo has examples of her own writing paper to prove it. In no time at all, QingXi turns on Prince Yi. It takes very little for the emperor to turn on his little cousin, so I'm guessing his personality has been bad for a while. QingXi is to be caned 100 times and banished. Yingluo is punished to go home and copy out another 100 copies because her calligraphy looks like shit. It's all in good fun though. As for Yi, this guy loves kicking people. Prince Yi tells the emperor that he was ordered by Jia, who harbors resentment over her recent demotion thanks to Yingluo's antics. The emperor orders Jia's son taken away to be sent to live with Shen. Jia is distraught and even close to confessing that it was under Gao's orders, but then, after some thinly veiled threats, Jia has no choice but to let her son be taken away. Prince Yi does get away with a slap on the wrist as he's a royal family member. I'm gonna give Yingluo the benefit of the doubt and say she was going to let things go with Yi, but then this fool confronts her himself. So you've chosen death. Very fun set of episodes. It's so relaxing knowing that none of these fools will prosper against the might of Yingluo. I'm having a good time watching her work circles around them. I love every single scene between the Empress and Yingluo. I love them so much. We know Yingluo was raised by her sister, and after her death, I bet this is the first time she's been able to get something of that familial love back in her life. I just can't believe how good the Empress is. I want nothing but the best for her. Really, the person she's become after coming out of her depression is exactly that perfect, elegant, virtuous Empress that other drama Empresses try and fail to be. She is just all grace, and these two are perfect. Which leaves Mingyu. And again I ask, who hired her? She seems too young to have come in as a dowry maid, but I just can't wrap my head around how else she would have made it this far up the ladder. Finally, 2 random shoutouts to old friends from the embroidery department. Number 1, Zhang Momo. It's the classic backup character that knows what the main character is up to and tries to keep them from veering too far off the path of righteousness. I wasn't expecting it in this drama, but it is nice to see. I just love seeing Yingluo coming back every now and again just to, alright, so today I killed this one, got this one kicked out, and this one will never walk again. Number 2, and this is really random, Eunuch Wu. He used to outrank Yingluo when she worked at the embroidery department, and he's always been a fair, rule-following guy, even when he had Jinshou killed. But anyway, since her promotion, he has been all grace and never shows even a hint of awkwardness about having to bow when he sees her, speak politely, and so on. Like, he seems proud of her upward mobility. I just find that really wholesome. Okay, till next time, thanks for watching.